Hi friends, good evening and welcome back. In today's class, we will be studying the Excel tools, functions related to the charts and chartings in Excel. So what we'll be covering in today's class is basically how to create a basic chart, how to format it, how to customize it, and then we will also focus on different types of inbuilt chart which Excel have, or how to create different types of chart, okay, using either adjusting the data or modifying the data by and along with using some of the Excel inbuilt functions, right? So let's start the class with creating a basic chart and formatting the same, understand what are the different formatting features available, and then we will carry on with the rest of the charts. Okay, so this is my data, okay, just a sample data which I have created. And if I want to create a chart, so let's say I select the data, okay, I click on the insert button, okay, and within insert button you see that we have various kinds of various options for the charts, okay, various kinds of chart options are available to us. Column is one of the most basic and frequently used, so let me take example of a column, but we will explore the other ones as well. Okay, so within column I select the first one, that is 2D clustered column option, okay, and you see that a chart has been created. Okay, now before we continue, one of the basic problem with this chart is the year. Okay, ideally in this data I want my year to be the x-axis in this chart. Okay, but you see that Excel doesn't recognize year as an x-axis, but it takes it as one of the value, right, and portrays and place that data in the y-axis itself, okay, which is not something I want. So in that case what you need to do is, okay, this is the way out, that either we will see how to modify the data once we have created the chart. That is also not a problem, but the easier way to do it is that before I create the chart, okay, I delete the name for this cell, okay, that is I delete the column name, column header for the column which I want to be the x-axis. And then if you see now, if I create a chart, I go to the insert tab and click on column 2D, okay, and you see that in this case now it is recognizing the first column, which that is without the column header, as the x-axis for me, right? So that's one thing which you need to remember. Okay, we will now see how to play around and modify with this chart. So first of all, let's say, okay, once you have created the chart, okay, so let's understand how do we change the chart type. So that is very simple. Again, you go to the insert button, and if you don't want, let's say instead of column chart you want a line chart, so you just click on this. Okay, if you want a pie chart, just click on one of the pie chart, depending upon the data, of course. Okay, you can select any of this chart. So even within column, if you don't want the basic column chart, you want a 3D cylinder, anything you can be chosen from just by clicking on the chart type, right? So that's the first thing you should know. Second thing, let me explain the various parts of this chart. This segment where you have the values, the name of the values listed, it's called the legend. Okay, so we'll see how to customize or format the legend. Okay, these are called the grid lines. These are called the horizontal grid lines. Okay, this is called the data series. Okay, each of this is a data series. Okay, this is your x-axis, this is your y-axis. Okay, now you see that the moment, okay, right now my cursor is not on the chart, but the moment I place my cursor on the chart, okay, you see this contextual tabs also gets activated. Okay, these are tabs contextual to our chart tools. Okay, so let's explore this this tab one by one. Okay, so first of all, change chart type, we have already seen that. If okay, so if you want, you can also choose one of this chart type directly from here. Okay, save as template once you do all your formatting and all. So if you don't want the to create the same formatting again and again, once you have modified it, you can save that particular chart type as a template. Okay, you can switch between rows and column. Okay, so now you see that what was actually my x-axis has now become my y-axis and vice versa, right? So depending upon the data, you can decide to switch your row and column. Okay, this is important. Select data. Okay, we will understand some more feature here. Again, you can see switch row column here also. So this is basically your horizontal axis. So if you want to make any changes to the horizontal x-axis, you click on edit and you do it here. This is about your y-axis. So you can either add more series. So right now we have sales and profit. If you want, you can add more series here. You can give it a series name and the value. For value, you can link it to the cell. Okay. Right now, I am not doing it because I don't want it. Clear? You can edit the existing ones. So if I want to edit the sales chart, select data, I can do that, or profit, I can click on edit. If I want it to be removed, I can remove, or I can also change the sequencing of this values, right? So this is what we can do with respect to the select data cell. But what I want to show you one more thing is, okay, so rather, okay, let's say for example, now I have data for 2016 also. Okay, just putting some random data, guys. Okay, so if I have data for 2016 also and I want to include that, so all I have to do is I can expand this link. So right now you can see that the data is linked till 2015. I will just catch this square box and I will drag it to the next cell, and the data will be included in our chart, right? So that's another option for selecting or modifying the data. Fine. So let's again come back to our design tab. Fine. Now again, this is by default the color formatting and all what Excel is giving you. If you want, you can go and click some of this other default template which Excel has, and there are more. Okay, so you can select either of this formatting, by default formatting which is there. Move chart basically gives you an option to move the chart to a new sheet. Okay, or maybe it also gives you an option to place it as an object in the, or place it as an object, right, in either of this tabs which we have in our Excel sheet, in either of these worksheets. Okay, so that's another thing which is available on the this design tab. Okay, now let's move on to the layout tab and explain this. Let's understand this chart. Okay, so in the layout, okay, I don't, yeah, okay, so let's understand this labeling tool, the labeling cluster. The first one is the chart title. Okay, so if you want to give any title to the chart, okay, so you can choose whether you want the chart title. If you don't want any title, you can select none, which is by default. Okay, if you want it to be overlaid, okay, so you can select this. So you can see that it's overlaid on the chart, and you can give it any title you want. Okay, so let's say I give it sales profit chart. Okay, so sales profit. Okay, you can also link it to the cell. Now let me show you how to link it to the cell. You first come here, edit in an edit mode. Okay, go to your formula bar, place equal to, okay, and then link it to any cell you want to, right? So you see that it becomes 0 because the cell content is empty right now. Okay, if you want to make it above, place it above chart, this is where you do it. So it's B12. Let me put something in B12, or let me put a text here. Right, so you see that I get the chart title linked to the Excel cell rather than just manually putting in the data. Fine. Okay, so that's about the chart title. Now let's talk about the axis title. You know that there are two axes currently available in this chart. One is your y-axis and one is your x-axis, right? So if you want to give any title to it, you can give any title, and you can also say where should it be placed, title below x-axis, and you can again name it or link it to an Excel cell in the same way as we did it for the chart title. Similarly, you can give a name to the y-axis. Clear? Okay, now as I told you, this is the legend. So with respect to legend, you have an option to place legend anywhere you want to. So you can place it at right, which is currently by default. You can place it at top, left, bottom, overlay legend at right, so it will be overlaid with the chart. Okay, and so on and so forth. Fine. If you want, you can also delete it. You can just select it and click your delete button on the keyboard. Right. Similarly, if you want to delete the chart title, just select it and click on the delete button. And the same goes for x-axis and y-axis. Okay. Okay. Now this is data label. Okay. This is important again. So right now you see that my chart is only giving me the bar, the column bar, but it's not showing the value. I'll have to read value referring it to the y-axis. But if you want, you can also label your data, right? You can also decide the placement of the values or the data, where it should be placed, whether it should be in the center. You see that all the values are now at the center of this bar. Okay, or you can choose inside end. Okay, it will be inside but at the end, or you can choose it outside end. Okay, and you can choose one of this option. We will explain, we will understand more label option in a while. Okay. Then you have something called data table. So if you want along with the chart the table also to be shown, this is where you click. So you can select your data table, show data table with legend keys. Okay, so that's another option for that's another option in the label cluster. Okay, now let me undo some of the things which we have done because I don't want them to be there. Okay, this is another understanding that if I want to undo anything, I can just simply go and select the none option. Okay. Now so this is about the chart title, the Excel title. Yeah, let me okay, as I told you that this is a data series, right? So let's say I don't want this color option format data series, so I want to change it. So you see that the moment I select just click on any of this column bar, okay, so this entire data series gets selected, and even in Excel your this entire column gets selected, which is referred to the data series, the particular data series you have selected. Now you can modify it, of course, increase it, decrease it by just dragging it, as we saw. And let's see how what are the other ways we can format it. Just right click on this and click on format data series. So as I told you, this is a data series, so if you want to format it, click here. Okay, and you can choose the option. So fill means basically which color do you want. Okay, right now it's automatic. You go to solid fill and you can choose any of this color. Okay, I'm just choosing the worst color, so you can see that it has been changed. Control Z will again bring it back to the normal one. Okay, so not only the fill, but you can play around with each of this. So what will be the border color, what will be the border style, do you want any shadow for this, okay, do you want any glow or soft edges, etc. So you can format your data series the way you want it to be. Okay, you can also, once you have selected it, if you want, you can just simply delete it by pressing the delete button on your keyboard and the data series is gone. Okay, Control Z will bring it back. Clear? So all you have to do is select the series, right click, and you can play around with that. Similarly, let's say if you want to format this data label, so just select any one of them. You can see I just click here, so all these data labels get selected. You can format them. So you say format data labels and you can play around with that. So what number formatting you want, what fill you want, what other formatting you want to do with the data labeling along with the alignment, right? You can also play around with one of this data labels. So by clicking first, the entire data labels get selected. If you click it again, you see that now the focus is only on this data label, and you can go and manually modify it also, right? So you can also manually modify it. Okay, you can just, if you want to, let's say focus on this data label, so you can give it a fill. Okay, fine. So this is how we play around with the data series, data label and data series. Okay, so let's understand the other options on the layout tab. So this is your axis, primary, show left to right axis. This is your vertical axis, so you can select. This will not be useful, so I'm not touching it right now. Okay, grid line, yeah, grid line is important, so let's understand that. As I said you, this is the grid line. So generally most of the people don't want the grid line in the chart. Without the grid line, the chart looks much more neater. So there you can just simply click, select it, click anywhere on the grid line, okay, and just simply press delete on your keyboard. Okay, the other option is you go to delete. Okay, so this is your primary horizontal grid line. You can select none, you can select major. So what we had by default is a major one. If you want a detailed grid line, you can select on the minor. So you see that you get a minor grid line as well. Fine. Similarly, you can select the vertical grid line also. You see that by default right now we only have the horizontal grid line, but if you want, you can have vertical grid lines also. That is also possible in Excel. Fine. Let me do Control Z to undo what I have done. Okay, now I'm done. I have removed the grid line. Plot area. Okay, so what is your plot area? This entire thing is your plot area, the one which is selected now. Not the entire chart, but only this. This is called the plot area. So if you want, you can play around with the plot area also. Okay, you can choose to fill your plot area rather than keeping it white. Let's say with a very light background. Fine. So this is what, these are some of the formattings you can do with the chart. Okay, let me explain two more things here. One is the trend line and the other is your error bar. Let's talk about the trend line. Okay, so trend line has, this will be more understood by the statistical student, or even from by all of us, because we have studied this much level of statistics in at least once in our life. So linear trend line is nothing but showing you a linear trend. Okay, so it says the moment. Okay, so let me just do it again. I'm in the layout tab. Okay, that is the contextual tools. So I click on the trend line. Okay, and I can choose either of this trend to be shown. So if I want a linear trend to see, I click on it. The moment I do that, okay, what happened? That's not showing me the trend line. Is it annoyed? Yeah. So add a trend line based on series. So you want the trend line for sales or profit, right? So if I say sales, you will see that the trend line is available for the sales. Again, if you want to remove it, you can select none. Fine. Similarly, there is something called error bars. Okay. So you can select error bars. Let me just select one error bar and then I'll explain what is this. So error bar is nothing but it shows you the error, that is the difference in the value. Now the difference can be a fixed value. Let me right click this error bar and click on format error bars. Okay, so it can be, you can select both side, you can select only minus, that is the lower one, and the top one, that is a plus. Okay, you can select the value for the error, either it can be a fixed value or it can be a percentage or it can be a standard deviation, any of this thing. So when you are presenting your data which has a statistical reference, this error bar will be very useful for you. Again, if you want to do away with the error bar, just click on this. Okay, why it only removed the error bar for sales is because that was selected when before I clicked on none. Otherwise it would have removed the error bar for both sales and profit in this case. Clear? So that's all you can see is more or less what we have in the layout. There is one more thing, let me just tell you, it might not be very useful outrightly, but for your reference, you see that whenever I create a chart in an Excel, okay, let me place my cursor here, you see that Excel has by default a name for every chart. Okay, so this is the name for this chart is chart 2. Okay, if you want to change the name of the chart, you can't do it directly from the name box. Okay, you will have to go to properties in the layout tab and you will have to change the name here. Okay, so once you change the name here, let's say ASDFG, okay, and you press enter. So now if I place my cursor here, you see that the name of the chart is reflected as ASDFG. This will mainly be useful when you are writing a VBA code. So by giving the name to the chart, you can call the chart using in your VBA code whenever you want to, right? So that will be the application of naming a chart. Let's look at the last step, which is the formatting. Okay, so again, formatting is like you can play around with the whatever shape. So if you are not selecting a plot area, okay, this formatting will work for the entire chart. But if you select your plot area, okay, so this is my plot area. So now if I do this, click any on this formatting, it will work only on the plot area. Okay, similarly you can say shape fill. Okay, so you see right now since the plot area is selected, it is working around with only in the plot area. If I don't select the plot area and just simply select the chart and click on shape fill, it will work on the chart area as well. Okay, you can select the styles for the text part of it. Okay, and yeah, so guys, that's okay. Now just one more thing. So let's say if you want to play around with the chart size and all, okay, you can do that using this height and width size. Okay, so you can see that the size keeps getting increased or decreased. Clear? So that's more or less what we have in 3 of these contextual tabs for the chart, for formatting the chart basically. Okay, yeah, okay, now let me before I move on with further different types of charts and explaining you charts in detail, let me show you one more feature, okay, which we have in Excel, okay, other than the chart, slightly related to the chart, but other than the chart. Okay, we have something called sparklines. Okay, I don't know why is it not activated. Okay, yeah, it is activated. Okay, so you see that if I want the sparkline is nothing but a chart type, but rather than giving you a chart, it just gives you the output in the cell. Okay, so you select your sales. Okay, rather let's select the sales data, go to the sparkline. Sparkline is nothing but an option in the insert button. Okay, so after the chart you have something called sparkline. The sparkline is available only in Excel 2010 and beyond, not before. Then you click on line. Okay, it says data range. I have given it a data range. It says location range. Let me give a location range to it, and I click OK. So you see that it gives you a sparkline that is showing you the trend in the sales. Again, you can go and format it. You see one contextual tools tab gets added for sparkline tools. You can modify and format it using one or more of this feature. So instead of line, if you want a column sparkline, this is where it will be. Okay, you can give it a high point, low point. You can give it a color. Okay, and so on and so forth. If you don't want it, finally say clear. Okay, so that's about the sparkline. That's another thing which I wanted to tell you before I move on with the chart formatting. Okay, now also let me tell you that let's spend 2 minutes on formatting the axis. So let's say if I want to play around with this axis, you see that right now the minimum value is 0, the maximum value is 1800, and the gap between the two of this axis is 200, right? So it's taking in a range of 200. I right click, okay, and click on format axis. Okay, so this is where we play around with. So right now you see everything is auto. Okay, so if you want to fix the minimum value not to 0, you can change that. If you want to fix the maximum value not to 1800, you can select that. The major unit as we saw is 200 in this case. You can also fix the minor unit, right? So rather than taking everything by default, you can choose any of this data option you want to. Okay, you can change the values. We will see the relevance of these values in reverse order once we are studying some other types of chart. Okay, now let me explain you this feature. So you see this lines here, right? These are called the major and minor tick mark. Okay, so you can select that whether you want or you don't want this tick mark. So you see that this tick mark is now gone. Okay, or you can select that it should be outside, or whether it should be inside, and or whether it should be crossed. Okay, so you can select one of this option. Okay, generally some client prefer not to have this excess tick mark. They don't like it. So do remember that. Okay, you can also play around with the display unit. So if your display unit is very high, you can choose it to be in hundreds or thousands or millions, etc. Right? So that's another option. That's how you play around with the axis. Again, number. What number formatting do you want? If your data is in percentage and if you want to keep it in percentage, you can change that. Okay. You can choose fill option, and again, you can use one of this formatting option. The same thing can be done for the x-axis also. Okay, so all you have to do is click on this axis, any of this. So you now see that x-axis has been selected. You right click and you go on the formatting. So you can play around with the formatting of the x-axis as well, right? Fine, so this is more or less what we have in chart formatting. Okay, okay, now let me just show you briefly what are the other types of chart. Okay, so you have line chart. Okay, you can convert your data to line chart. Bar chart, pie chart will not be relevant in this case. We will study some of the useful feature with respect to the bar chart, but do remember that bar chart is nothing but a where we have the chart on the vertical horizontally rather than having a vertical as in column. This is mainly used, if you have seen it and if you remember, when you are populating the result of surveys and all. So when you're populating a result of surveys, it's always better to use a bar chart rather than a column chart. Let me show you one more important type of chart, which is called the stack chart. Stack chart is nothing but it stacks the value, okay, one over the other. So let me show you an example. So you see that in 2011, okay, it stacks data which is arranged in a row. So it for 2011, rather than showing you two different columns for sales and profit, it stacks the profit over the sales. So it first show you sales 575 and then stacks profit over it. Similarly for all the remaining years. Okay. So do remember that this is a stack chart. So then next time when you want to show data rather than in a column manner, you can use the stack column when you want your data one over the other. Okay, this is definitely not relevant in this case because sales and profit are two different attributes. But let's say if it's a data wherein this is the revenue for product 1, okay, and this is the revenue for product 2. Okay, in that case I would like to see a stack chart because it also gives me the total sales then. So I know that my revenue from product 1 is 575, my revenue from product 2 is 399, and this is my total profit. Okay, I can also choose the data. I can go and click on data value wherein I will get the data labels. Okay, it will not show you the total data because that's not a part of our data right now. Fine. So this is where the stack chart will be useful. Again, we will see some other applications of both column and bar stack chart in a while. Fine. Okay. So yes, so this is more or less what we have in a basic chart formatting. Now let's understand how to create different types of chart to represent our data more beautifully and sensibly. Okay, the first one is where most people need help is, or if you're not a very pro in creating charts in Excel, this will be very useful to you. I have just added one more column to our data, which is called the profit percentage. Okay, let me just place it here. Yeah, so I have added one more column to our data, which is called the profit percentage, right? And I want my data output to be like this. Okay, so I want the sales and revenue, sales and profit for each of the year, and I want to see my profit percentage as a line chart, right? So if I want my profit is in percentage term, while my sales and profits are in USD million or in absolute value rather than in percentage. So in that case, if I want a line chart to be on the same axis, y axis, then it's not possible. I'll have to create a secondary axis for it, right? So let's see how do we create a chart like this. I will not delve into formatting of charts any further because we have seen all sorts of formatting in the previous tab. So that's all formatting available in Excel. If anything is required in particular, we will definitely discuss it. So let's see how do we create a chart. You can see that I have removed the heading from the first column, so that once I populate this data into a chart, it always takes the first column as a x-axis. I go to insert, okay, and I create a column chart. Okay, so you see that Excel has created a column chart. Okay, let me delete it. Okay, this was just for your reference to see the end output. We will create the end output in a while now on our own. Fine. I generally don't like the data. Of course, the data is required once you are preparing a chart and you are sending it to someone, because otherwise they will not understand which column is representing what. Even if you are keeping the data, my suggestion, or not my suggestion, sorry guys, but my preference is always to keep it at the bottom. Okay, this is where it looks good. But this is just my aesthetic sense. Definitely you have much better aesthetic sense than me. Fine, so you anyway, let's continue. So you see that for each of the year I have 3 data. Of course, you cannot see the profit data very visible. The reason it's not visible is because the value of the data is very small. So if I convert it in absolute amount, it's 0.69, which is almost equal to 0. That's why you're not able to see this data. Fine, now let's see how do we create a secondary axis and change the chart type for one of the series. So I still okay, so you first click on this series. So you know that once you click on any of this data point, okay, the entire series gets selected. You right click, you go to format data series. Okay, whenever you have to work on a data series, you have to choose the option format data series. Now in format data series, in series option, you see that plot series on primary axis or secondary axis. This is your primary axis. So if you click on secondary axis, now you see that the data is now populated on the secondary axis, and since the data is in percentage, Excel by default takes it as a percentage. Of course, you know how to change the number formatting by clicking on formatting axis, right? So I click on secondary axis and I say okay. Fine. So this is done. Now I want to change this data type to line. So you know that either I just go on insert and change it to line. Okay, that's done. Okay, other option is, of course, I can go to the design and click on change chart type. Okay, so you see that now my data is I have created a secondary axis for the profit percentage. Okay, and along with the legend, now I have the profit percentage in the as a line chart. Fine. So this is very useful when you are presenting data and one of the data has a different unit from the other. Right. So that is generally when we use the secondary axis chart. All the formatting axis is applicable to the secondary axis as well. So you can select the minimum, maximum value, the major unit, minor unit. You can play around with the formatting as well. Clear? So this is how simple creating a chart with a double axis is. Okay, let's move on. Okay, so let's talk about pie chart. Of course, I know it's very easy to create a pie chart, but what we will be focusing on is pie of a pie chart. Let's see how to what I'm talking about. So first of all, I create a pie chart. Okay, and here you go. If you want the value, you know how to bring values. You can click on data label. Okay, and you get your values. Okay. Now my question to you here is, if I want this region name also to be there on the pie chart, okay, let's say I do away with the legend, because in a pie chart a legend might look better in the um, in the pie itself, rather than keeping it separately in the segment of the pie itself. So now I want this region also to be named here. Okay, you see that in our layout option the data is not there. I have chart title, I have legend, I have data label, but I in data label it's only talking about placement. Yes, you are right. I click on more data label. Okay, so this is nothing but, this is not a series name, guys. Do remember, series is the value which is populating here. So this is you're absolutely right. This is my category name. So if I click on category name, okay, you see that now Excel is populating the category and the value both for me, right? So this is one thing which is not very obvious, so do remember that. Okay, all you have to do is go on data label, click on more data label options and select the category name option. If you don't want the value but you want the percentage, that is also possible, right? So if you want to see what is the contribution of Delhi, you can click on the percentage, right? So that's something I wanted to show you in the pie chart. Yeah, in the basic pie chart, but of course that's not the only thing. Okay, now let me tell you one more thing, that first let me, yeah, so you know that if you want to play around with the entire chart, you click once. Let's say if I want to modify or format any particular pie, so I again click it and you see that only this pie is selected, right? So you can drag it out to show to focus on this pie. Okay, so that's also possible. So you can do a different formatting for this pie. Okay, you can give it a different color, anything, right? So that is also possible in a pie chart. Fine, let me just reduce the size and place it on the side. Fine, now let's talk about something called pie of a pie. Let me first explain what I am talking about. So this is my data wherein I have revenue from Kolkata, Mumbai, Delhi, Chennai. Okay, I also have the breakup for Chennai, which is product 1, product 2, product 3, product 4. Okay, so I want to create a chart something like this. Okay, something like this. This is called a pie of a pie chart. So it will show you first the bigger pie, that is the revenue for all the 4 region, and then it will show you a smaller pie which will contain the revenue for each of this product line. Okay, yes, you are right that I can just simply create this chart by clicking on this pie, but it's not that straightforward. This is why I'm taking up this topic separately. Let's see. So I click on the pie of the pie chart. Okay, fine. So how many, let's play around with the data. Let me delete this. Okay, let me also delete this empty row here. This is, whenever you are creating a chart, try and avoid any empty row. Fine. Okay, so now this is our data. First of all, let's go and do a data labeling. Okay, I need the category name. Fine. So now I have the data with the category name. Now you see that instead of taking the 4 product line, it's only showing 3. Of course, Excel doesn't know that out of this data, how many data needs to go to the sub pie and how many data needs to be confirmed in the first pie. So let's play around with that first. You go to format data series. Okay, so here is the option. Okay, so it says split series by, first of all, split series either by value or position or percentage value, etc. Position means that how many, what the cells in the last, how many cells to be used for the sub pie. So it says second plot contains the last, I say 4 values. Okay, because last 4 values needs to go in the second pie. So I can change that. I can select 5, 4, whatever I want to, and I click on close, right? So that sorts our first problem, that now, okay, the second pie is correct wherein it's showing the 4 product line, okay, along with the name and label. But here you see a problem that Excel has summed this entire product 1 to 4 in a series, in a separate series which has created for itself called other. Okay, this is how this pie of the pie chart always works. So you'll have to manipulate the data on your own. First of all, since Chennai is basically represented by this 4 product lines, so delete the Chennai row. Okay, because if you keep Chennai row, it will count it twice. Okay, so you see that now we only have 4 region here: Mumbai, Delhi, Kolkata. Of course, it's labeling Kolkata as other right now, and we have the 4 product lines. So this resolves our second problem. Now let's talk about the third problem, wherein instead of other I want Kolkata. So the only option is that you'll have to go and change it manually. Okay, there is no other way to do it. Fine, of course we can use VBA, but that's not the purview of this class, within the scope of this class I mean. So we will have to go and manually change in the data to Kolkata. And we are done with the pie of the pie chart. Right, so this is next time when you want to present your data like this, just use this pie of the pie chart option. There is one more option here. Instead of second pie, you can create a second. Sorry, let me just delete this. Okay, so yeah, instead of using pie of pie, you can also choose pie of column. Okay, so pie of column is nothing but the second chart will be a column chart. Okay, so you can again format the data series the way you want to. Fine. Okay, so this is what we have in the pie chart. Let me take a pause here before we continue with the rest of the chart. So we'll just continue, but I want to record it as a second video. So see you in the next class for the second class of charting. Thank you.